it's Mike Simpson. I'm Superintendent of Guthrie Public Schools, and this is Chalk Talk. Today we have Chris LeGrande, Guthrie High School principal, with us. Chris, it's been a while since you've been on with us. Guthrie High graduate, class of '86. I know that because I'm also class of '86, so we have something in common there. And Chris, I asked you to join us today because you know, we've had a lot of things going on this year, and it's been a busy year. But I wanted to see, just give us an update of what's going on at the high school.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Dr. Simpson. It's been very busy thus far here at Guthrie High School. Of course, kind of the highlight of the fall season for us at the high school is our homecoming celebration that we have, and I tell you, that's become quite an event. It just keeps getting larger and growing each and every year, and we have several hundred alumni that will come back for the morning assembly that we have of the homecoming game. And this year it was interesting. We actually reinstituted the Athletic Hall of Fame, which I'm very appreciative of Coach Chappell. He did a wonderful job of getting that organized. And so we were able to induct several new members into the Guthrie Athletic Hall of Fame, and including in that was the Favor High School State Championship football seasons that they had in the 50s. And so that was kind of a unique aspect that we added to the homecoming celebration this year as well. In addition, we celebrated Pink Week, which is our annual, we work with the Oklahoma Secondary Activities Association. We raise money for cancer awareness. And this year we were actually able to donate dollars to Tammy Lee. And Tammy is one of our bus monitors for our special education students. And she does a lot of knitting and things like that and gives back to the community. And so she is a cancer survivor. She's been fighting cancer, and we were able to raise dollars on her behalf that we presented to her, and that was wonderful. So that was a kind of a highlight of the fall as well. And then we kind of closed out the holiday season with our annual canned food drive. We actually collected this year almost 1,300 canned food items that goes to the food bank here in Guthrie, and so we think that's important at Guthrie High School, that we instill in our students this sense of pride in your community and the idea of giving back and helping others that are in need. And so that was kind of the highlight there. And I will say, on the academic side, we are very excited this year. We have 3 nominees for Academic All-State.
Awesome.
And in the state of Oklahoma, they pick 100 students each year that are actually selected for Academic All-State. And you have to have at least a 30 on your ACT and be very involved in the community and have extracurricular activities. And we actually have 3 students this year that qualified, and we will find out here mid to late February if they were actually selected. And then we just recently had 3 students that qualified for academic, or not academic, but All-State in band. And then we had 1 student that was All-State in choir. So I'm very excited about that. And then to kind of put a positive spin for our faculty and staff, one of our teachers, Mrs. Kurger, who teaches financial literacy to our students, was actually awarded with the Tinker Federal Credit Union Teacher of the Year Award. And so we have had a lot of things going on, and a lot of excitement, and a lot of accomplishments, and just proud of our faculty and staff and our students.
Well, that's a great reflection on your leadership, and I appreciate everything that you've done at Guthrie High School, because you know, you came in as high school principal same year I came in as superintendent, and we established a lot of goals for achievement and things like that, and we're continuing to move toward those goals. And the individual awards and the great things that have happened in your building are really something special for the district. You know, this time last year is when the state budget started to cave in, and most of that was not felt in the classroom last year, but I know that we felt some things this year as we have absorbed a lot of the budget cuts and things like that. Tell me how that's affected your building, and tell me how you're dealing with that.
All right, that's a great question. I tell you, my leadership style is to try to be positive in the midst of adversity. And I tell you, you know, when you face cuts and things happen, you can react in one of two ways. You can, kind of tighten the belt and figure out solutions, or you can complain. And what we chose to do is figure out solutions that would benefit our students and ultimately our teachers in their responsibilities within the building. One thing that we have done this year, and as you mentioned, Dr. Simpson, there was a couple positions we had teachers either resign or retire, and we weren't able to fill those positions. But what we were able to do is become more resourceful as administrators and staff. And what we did is we looked at each one of our classes and what our teachers were teaching. And I'll give you an example. For example, in English, in the past, we've just had teachers teach one particular grade level. And so what we had to do then is absorb some of those sections that we had lost. And so now we may have a senior English teacher that's also teaching a section of sophomore English or freshman English. And so by doing so, we were able to actually keep our class counts at around 25 to 26 students per section. And so we feel good about that. Another thing that's helped us, and I'm very proud of this, is the fact that we have more students that are taking concurrent college classes. And this year we had over 30 that were concurrently enrolled during the fall semester, and that's students that are actually taking college level classes, and they get dual credit. They get college credit and high school credit as well. And so when you have larger numbers of students that are enrolled in concurrent classes, that's obviously going to cut down on the number of students that are enrolled in junior and senior English. And so that has helped us as well. And so we're really excited about that. And at the same time, we have more students that are enrolled in our advanced placement classes. And when you have larger AP classes, then some of your regular education classes are going to be a little bit smaller. So by being resourceful, by moving teachers around and basically getting the most bang for our buck, we've really been able to make a very positive situation out of something that appeared to be negative on the outside looking in.
Well, congratulations to you and your staff for being able to be so resourceful and having that open mind, because what you described and what I know has happened is we have protected the classroom amid all these budget cuts, and that's the important thing, because that's how it affects our students. And so hats off to you guys at the high school and your leadership and your administrative team and your teachers, because the reality is your teachers are doing more work than they were in the past, and for the same amount of money, and for the with increased expectations every year, and we know that, and that's why we appreciate so much the staff that we have at Guthrie Public Schools, because they do it they do it with kids in mind. They do it to put kids first, and they do it not for the money. Teaching is a calling, as we all know, and education is a calling, and we're happy that that your staff was called to that position that they have. Chris, I want to thank you for your efforts and all of the work that you've done for Guthrie Public Schools over the 5 years that I've been here, and it's something that's special when you have an alum that wants to come back and take what I consider to be one of the most challenging positions in the district as high school principal. And so thank you, Chris. I appreciate you being on here today, and appreciate all you've done for Guthrie Public Schools.
Well, thank you, Dr. Simpson. It's a pleasure being with you today, and like I said, it's a pleasure to serve, and that's just one of my proud accomplishments, is to be able to come back and actually lead the school from which I graduated. So I don't take that lightly, and I appreciate your compliments, and I appreciate our faculty and staff and for their support as well.
Well, that's it from Chalk Talk. I'm Mike Simpson. Goodbye.